everyone, welcome back to the channel, if I can talk. Today we'll be joined by Luke, Scorpio ReactsTV.
Hello.
And he gets called Libra ReactsTV because apparently he's meant to be a Libra, which is, everyone's very confused. There's another planet out of nowhere. Thanks NASA for discovering it now. So joined by, Luke today. He's going to help me go through my worst movies of 2020 list. I know, very late doing this, should have done this literally last month. But yeah, finally got a chance to do it now, as it's just been Christmas is madness, and
always is. Always.
Love Christmas, but it's so mad at the same time. You just get nothing done.
Yeah.
And wanted to do this like way before, but now we've finally got a chance to do our movies list. So yeah, this is it. We've got 10 worst movies of 2020 of last year.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10th position is The Rope Curse 2.
Rope Curse 2. Now, if you were explaining this movie to me, I don't remember it at all.
We were so bored.
I was that bored. All I remember, it was on the lines of the girl. Was it the one where the girl gets...
They get possessed, don't they, with the whole rope thing and try committing suicide with a rope.
Yes. Yes.
They try doing that in the film and they just get possessed. And it's just some of... You know, you just can't... After a bit, you get so bored. No character building. You don't know who's who. And... The way, and it just wasn't shot the best. It looked more like a film from like the 90s.
It did.
Early 90s, as in a low budget film from the 90s, not even like a film from the 90s. It just really wasn't shot well. And what was the film? Was it I think it was a Chinese movie.
It was Thai. It was Thai, I think.
Taiwanese.
I think it was Taiwanese, if I remember. Hold on. I'll Google this. I will Google it for everyone. But yeah, it was just not a good film. Sorry, everyone. We should have done a bit of preparation, but
I'll do it.
There we go. But yeah, it was just not a good film at all. There was moments in the movie as well, and I know like we're watching the
Taiwanese movie.
Taiwanese.
Like, we usually really enjoy cinema from over there, but this film definitely didn't. It looks good in the like advert as well. Like actually, it looks like a good film, and we were actually looking forward to watching it. But we were a little bit like, a little disappointed that it didn't turn out, and it was very boring, how we expected it.
Yeah, it was boring. It was predictable.
Oh no!
And a lot of the scenes. No. We can keep it up. Keep it up. So yeah, it was just not good. Like, the CGI looked terrible, and like I'm actually forgiving of CGI, especially because like they're not as budgeted as the big.
No, we understand. Some film industries don't have a budget, like other industries. We completely understand that, but at the same time, it's just like it could have just done better story wise, and at least.
Yeah, and here it is as well. Like, it says that it's a horror thriller. There was just nothing of that, because there was multiple scenes in the movie. I don't remember this film movie at all, really. So there's like little clips in between though, and like I remember it visually awful, like shot after shot after shot after shot, and it just made me pay attention to the screen. Yeah,
after a bit, like, we were just getting so bored. We just kept saying, "Oh my god, so bored right now." But we still continue watching the film. But I don't mean to be mean, but that's what I just found myself saying. I'm getting really bored of this film, but I feel bad though, because I do love my horrors. But sorry, sorry about that if I disappointed anyone who likes the film. But yeah, it's shocking. It's got to be a first one to this, Yeah. If a second one came out, so that means the first one must have done well.
Yeah.
Might check out the first one if that done well, but this one really didn't enjoy it at all.
Sometimes they do sequels to a bad movie though.
Do they? Oh, they have enough money for that, don't they?
Yeah, some people do anyway.
Some industries.
Yeah.
I mean, some directors and stuff, or producers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our 10th position with Rope Curse 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so yeah, number 9 is Christmas Chronicles 2.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? The first one was such a good, nice, cute little Christmas film. Shot well. The story was nice. So many funny moments. And then the second one, disappointment.
Opposite side of the spectrum.
It's complete opposite. It just lost, the nice thing. Just the whole nice thing about the first one. It just felt very like it was just trying to sell itself, this film, the second one.
Lost its soul.
Yeah, it really lost its soul in the second one.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was 100% a movie by some. It felt like a movie by some people who just threw it together last minute, and
hasn't got rated that good
it's
as well.
got quite a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and unfortunately,
it has 69%.
That's quite good. 69% on Rotten Tomatoes is a good
That's meant to be good.
score. But it's average. But to me, I hated this movie. I hated everything about this movie. Everything what was good about the first one has completely gone in this movie.
Too many characters, not even needed. Tyrese wasn't even needed.
It was a paycheck.
Yeah.
Tyrese Gibson was a paycheck.
We all know. Yeah, 100% a paycheck.
The best characters for me, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, best actors: Kurt Russell, Julian Dennison, who is like the villain of the film.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
I think that's it.
I just think Goldie Hawn, who's like, Kurt Russell's wife in real life too, playing Mrs. Claus.
I think that's
her
why
acting was so off as well.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be mean, but she really it was hard to watch at times, and it was just pleasing. It was just pleasing like everyone too much, I think, and I think that's why it lost its soul, because it was trying too hard.
Yeah.
And when you try too hard, it comes across as like desperation. I was really looking forward to this film coming out. I was like, yes, finally, a year later, this one's coming out. Oh no, I was absolutely I was a bit sad.
Yeah, and they introduce new characters who bring nothing to the table.
Tyrese's son in the film.
Tyrese Gibson and Tyrese's son.
Because that story felt really forced, with the mum moved on, has a new boyfriend, and then they got a sort of like a almost step brother.
Yeah.
And I just don't like it. I just didn't like the way that was forced, as in.
Yeah.
It felt very forced, and then they completely pushed the big brother out of this one, and just let the the one who's they're meant to be the step sort of brother shine.
Yeah, and he's not a good actor. He's not a good actor.
I know he's a child only, and he's got years to learn to act, but
he's
the acting wise,
good.
he should have been directed better as well. I think, especially like child actors who can't, who struggle to act, they should be directed a bit better.
Yeah.
But it just felt really forced, the whole film did, and it just stuff wasn't needed in it.
Yeah, completely.
The mum's got like a boyfriend out of nowhere, and then she's angry about this and that. But then the way it was just done, it wasn't really done good. The whole film wasn't.
And the songs in this sucked, in my opinion. Like, the songs in this were awful. Like, I can't remember any of them.
There was oh my god, was there song? Yeah, there was one song, the airport song.
And I can't even remember that.
Yeah, and then they tried to do it at the airport song like they did at the police station in the first film, but the song at the police station in the first film was actually a much funner song, and it was really funny. Yeah. Like, you actually really enjoyed that scene, but the airport scene in this one with the song just felt very forced as well.
Everything just did.
The only scene I liked was when she met her dad.
Yeah.
Like, she went back into the 80s, 90s, and then saw her dad at the airport, which was because she went back in time.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I just only like that scene really, but other than that, I didn't really enjoy the film.
The biggest problem comes from one thing: it's just boring. Honestly, it's just boring,
and it was dragging out. They dragged it out as long as they could. Unnecessary scenes. It really wasn't needed, and also I don't know. I like the little village they created though. Their little Christmas village was really pretty and cute.
But we kind of saw that in the first one.
Oh yeah, we did actually.
Kind of saw it in the first one. So.
Oh yeah, because she visits anyway.
Yeah, so.
Sad.
Yeah, I wanted to like it. Just so the people enjoyed it, I'm pleased, but it was a boring, dull movie, and it felt like it was trying to make toys out of the dwarfs, not the elves. It felt like they were trying to make toys from it, and it was just, I hated it.
Oh no!
Absolutely hated it. I didn't get into it at all. So that was number 9 then.
Oh, number 8 position is a Bollywood movie. What's happened to Bollywood these days? It's just getting worse. Booth, which means ghost. The Haunted Ship, it's called. And me and Lou watched this film. Never been so bored in our lives. Just whole CGI. Actors couldn't act. Not even trying.
I fell asleep near the end.
I know. It
It was that bad. I'm sorry.
So boring. I lost track of story. Like, I tried to like keep engaged, but I couldn't keep engaged because I didn't even care about the story. I was like, if the directors and the writers don't even care about the story, why should we?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not even trying. And today's Bollywood is just turning, like, from 2015, it's just gone downhill. The films have. They're all the same. Nearly all the films are really turning into each other. And the actors don't even want to act anymore. They can't be asked. There's only a few new ones that can act, but you know. They don't even want to try acting, and this film, fine example, showed it. It was just a money maker.
Yeah.
And we all know Bollywood is not really good with horrors anyway.
Yeah.
Even like years before, like, you know, Bollywood never could do good horror movies. Very rarely. They have done good horror movies, but very rarely.
Yeah. It's just not good.
Not at all. I hated it, and the ship was like CGI, wasn't it?
It was a ship, but like.
Oh, it wasn't CGI. It was just inside parts, wasn't it?
Yeah, inside parts were actual ship, but when you first saw the ship from the outside, they used CGI, and it was really obvious CGI.
Oh yeah, the outside bit, yeah.
It was really obvious CGI, and it is just not good. Just don't watch this film. Don't waste your time. I'm not.
Don't waste it. You'll be there sitting there like probably 2 to 3 hours.
Bored.
Feel like you watched it for 4 hours, 5 hours even. Yeah. It's really boring.
Yeah. Yeah. So next up,
7 position.
7 is Ghost Stories. What's Ghost Stories?
Oh, Luke hasn't watched Ghost Stories. It's a Bollywood movie. It was literally one of the first films I watched of last year, and it was on Netflix. It was a Netflix release. And the thing with the film was, I really enjoyed the first story. Another Bollywood movie this is. And I really enjoyed the first movie. First story. There was like 3 stories in it. Really enjoyed the first one. It had like Janvi, which is Sridevi's daughter. If anyone's like, you know, watches Bollywood movies. But yeah, she was in it, and I actually thought she was a really good actress. I was like, she's just like a mum, she can act. So I actually really enjoyed her in the film. And then of course the actress that used to come in like Indian soaps from like 90s was in it, playing like the old lady. And I thought that story was actually really interesting and creepy all in one. When it got revealed, and I was like, oh, this film's good so far. I'm actually really enjoyed the first story. I'm looking forward to the next few stories. Next 2 stories, oh my god, lost interest. I just couldn't even pay attention. They were so boring. It didn't keep me engaged at all, and just didn't feel like any horror elements as well. Didn't keep you like drawn in. I just think it was different directors maybe for different stories in the whole movie. But yeah, I feel bad though because the first story was good, but then after that the stories just started to suck a little. But yeah, I just that's the only reason I've just put it in my worst movies list. I feel bad. I'm sorry, but it's just a shame. Started off good and then you just disappoint by not keeping us engaged. Yeah. Which is sad because usually when directors do like ghost story movies, at least they do a good job of it.
Yeah, exactly.
This one, oh my god, ruined it fully. But yeah, and so next position.
The Binding.
6th position. The Binding.
The Binding.
So, let me check out the cast. Sorry, I just kind of want to check out the cast as well.
What was the This is how bad I am, right? Watching a bad movie.
I mainly did the list.
I was in it, that Italian one.
Yeah, that's the Italian. So I'm just seeing the cast. Oh, this was so boring.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this film was really boring.
Yeah.
Basically, so what happens to the daughter? She gets possessed.
And it's boring.
And it's just them running around after her, and her it's just a lot of noises, a lot of running around. One runs, and then the mum I think escapes in the car with the daughter. I think at one point. I think. Oh my god! But I was just so bored throughout the whole film. It just wasn't. I love my horrors. I love to watch every horror. Nearly every horror. And I thought like the story of it seemed so interesting when I read it on Netflix. And then when we watched it, we were just like, okay, I'm so bored.
Yeah, please end.
Oh, please end. But yeah, it was basically one of those where it's like, please end.
And it was an hour and a half of just in the runtime.
Yeah, and it felt longer. Even I know, like I keep saying that about the films, but bad films can like drag. You feel like sitting there forever and ever.
Yeah.
Almost wanted to cry because it's not ending. But then I kind of want to add. I did want to add these movies onto my worst movies list, so that's why I watched them all.
Yeah. This was not good. Not good. I don't even have much to say because again I can't remember the film. That's
I barely remember.
I barely remember
because I lost interest.
Yeah.
And then after that, the scenes after, I just felt very, just trying to scare us, but we weren't really scared.
No.
We were just like really bored.
Yeah, it was just not
like,
good.
Look, just look at this, we're an amazing horror film, but it wasn't good at all. I feel bad.
Yeah, just don't waste your time, guys.
Yeah, I do enjoy Italian movies as well, but I was a bit disappointed with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, such a shame. But yeah, 5 is The Old Guard, which was Charlize's film.
Charlize Theron's film. I love the concept.
It started off good.
It's got an amazing concept of like knights who can't really die. What an amazing concept. But the film itself, to me, like, I know a lot of people have enjoyed this movie, but I could not get into it at all. And I think it was just, it was again forcing stuff what didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
It was forcing stuff. It was trying to please everyone. And like some of the characters, I just felt, I don't know, I just never got into it at all. I don't know why. There were some really cool concepts in there.
I've got something mean to say. I think a male lead would have been better.
I'm
not being horrible, but I really feel like this was made for a male lead. I'm not being sexist to myself, but it really did. Charlize is good with action. She's brilliant. She literally looks like an action star. But it felt like a male lead.
It felt like such a...
Didn't it feel like that?
I'm not going to try and be offensive, right? But it felt like a male should have led the role in this.
Yeah.
With Charlize as the other main. Like, you could have had Charlize as main with the other person. And it would have been a much better film. In my personal opinion, yeah, it's very highly rated. But, like, I understand why, because the story of it's actually quite smart, but I just could not get into the story, and I was just, by the time it come to it, I was out, I was out of it, and I really wanted to like it, but it felt like it was built for a male lead. It felt like it felt built for someone else, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I really feel like that as well. I just couldn't get into the film. It started off good, but then after a bit I lost interest.
Yeah.
And, the army part was interesting, when they're in the army and everything.
Yeah.
And the whole story's so very interesting, but it did feel like a male lead was needed.
It did. It really did.
I just couldn't be asked. I couldn't even be asked to pay attention to dialogue after a bit as well. Even when they're talking, I was just like, I've just lost interest fully.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the worstest thing to happen.
Oh, no. Sad.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You read out the next.
So, the next film we've got up in number 4 is Tenant. We walked out of this halfway through.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't actually watch this fully, we'll be honest. We did walk halfway through. Once that man says to Denzel's son in the film, I can't remember his name, the actor, as in who's...
John Washington or something like that it's called.
I think so.
I think it's called John something Washington.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, once that man says to him, you want to want to have sex with my wife, basically. Are you having sex with my wife? We just walked out. We were like, I've had enough of this film. It's been dry. The action scene. The only time the film was exciting was the action scenes, but throughout the film it was very dry.
And it makes no fucking sense.
But how are the action scenes so brilliant? Like Rob P came in it and saved it for a while.
Yeah.
He saved it because Denzel's son is very dry as an actor. He's moody as anything. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but he's so moody, and it really I don't know what was up with his acting. It was very moody. Just came across quite snobby. He did his character, and you don't really like his. I meant to like this character. I didn't really like him.
I've got a funny feeling though. It might not be him, because apparently he's really good in Black Klansman.
Yeah.
He's apparently really good in that with Adam Driver.
But I don't know what they done to him in this.
I don't know what happened in this. I think it's the whole film in general is just very dull and very boring, and it felt like it was made for reviewers to give it a 10.
I really did feel like that, because I loved the action scenes. They were so good. I really was enjoying them scenes, but then when it came to the other parts when there's no action, so dry, boring, and it has this horrible filter in the whole film which makes it depressing. They go to a sunny country like India and it just looks dark.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? It's meant to be hot and nice and sunny there, but you've made it look cloudy with this stupid filter you put in the whole film.
Yeah. It was just dull, and it makes no sense storyline wise. Like bullets what can reverse, and there's no real. It's just. Ugh.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Really doesn't make any sense at all. And we just walked out because once that man says that you want to have sex with my wife or are you having sex with my wife to the main character, I was just like, oh my god, I've had enough of this film.
Yeah.
We gave it an hour as well. Then we had another another hour or half an hour to sit through it or something.
It was about 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. I think we had another, and we were like, I don't think we could do this anymore. No. Physically cannot do this. Mentally, physically, everything. Yeah. Can't do this anymore. I don't know why people have enjoyed this film so much. It's just the action scenes are good and that's it. Yeah. But other than that, story wise, you know, it didn't keep me engaged.
No, exactly.
Got annoyed. I just got really annoyed at the film. We both got annoyed. We were like, what is this film?
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad.
Next. Third position is Mrs. Serial Killer. Already, what a weird title. Mrs. Serial Killer. You know it's a Bollywood title if it's called that. This film starring Jacqueline Fernandez. Bless her, she still hasn't learned to act. But I do like her though at the same time. I do think she's likeable, but she still can't act. And in this film, her acting, and a lot of critics did diss her, like Hindi speaking skills were really not good. She hasn't improved. Rather trying to say like she has improved, but I don't mind. I'm not fussed on if someone can speak the language or not. I'm not really that fussed. It's just more about her acting just wasn't that good in the film. And you just get so annoyed at the film. It started off quite good. I actually enjoyed it at the beginning. Her husband, gets arrested for murdering someone. And then she's trying to prove his innocence and doing what she can. And then I enjoyed it at the beginning. But then once it started to go on, the film did, I started to get really annoyed with it. I did like the parts when she was trying to find out, I don't know, like, what's that word? Reveal stuff. She's trying to reveal stuff and she looks for evidence, doctor surgery and when she goes in there. And I think it's a doctor surgery hospital, something like that. Yeah. And she starts to do that and then that was interesting. But then when it started to get to the action scenes, when she fights that girl who's meant to be Army Cantonese, apparently, I think this actress is. But she fights that girl in an action scene. It's a horrible action scene. It's horrible. And you could tell they've copied it more likely from a North Asian film, from the lights and everything. It's a nighttime scene with the sort of neon lights. It kind of looks like more likely it's copied from a North Asian film, which it probably has been because Bollywood does copy a lot. I'm hungry. My stomach's just rumbled loud. And I just really... Yeah, that scene, once the action scene came along, I was like, this film is trash. Yeah. I was like, they've not even tried with this action scene. It's just disappointing. And as the film went on, she keeps her in the hospital, kidnapped, or what, I don't know. Keeps her in this hospital bed, kidnapped and this and that. And I just gave up. I started to give up on the film a little bit. I still watched all of it anyway. So I was like, I need to put something in my worst movies list, mainly. So I watched it all, and then all of a sudden, the ending part just really annoys you. Her husband actually turns out to be, he was a killer. He did kill, the person. He basically did kill the person, and, the police arrested him, on, which is basically the truth. He did kill someone, so that's why the police arrested him, and he turns out he was killing people. And I think he was, killing something women who have abortions or something. I think something like that. He's killing women who have an abortion. I think it's... So, yeah, I think so. I literally have not watched a film in a while and I can't be asked to remember. But his acting, Manoj Bajpayee is a good actor. In the 90s, he was really good. 2000s. But in this film, his acting was awful as well. And I was just like, what is up with his acting in this as well? He's been irritating. He's actually doing really irritating acting, and I was just like, oh my god, I give up on this film, no one can act in it. And then how she stupidly lets that police officer into the house to search around, and then he's just acting like a twat, this police officer is, throughout the whole time. Sorry, excuse my language. But she just lets him in, and just knows. And the whole film, yeah, I just did not enjoy the story after, but the story wasn't so bad, but just the way it was directed, and, just filmed really awfully at times. And it's just the action scenes really done my head in. It felt like a little kid directed them. It was really embarrassing. It was just like, how is this film even gone through? Oh, I hated the film so much. And I'm meant to believe that Jacqueline Fernandez is going to be with an older man like that, married to him. Unless, she's a gold digger. She's there for the money. because he was a doctor,
Yeah,
wasn't he, in the film?
yeah.
Lou watched the end part, but I watched most of it.
Yeah.
And he hated it as well, the end part.
I didn't even watch, and I walked out of the room and I was doing stuff. So my stuff was more important than watching the end of that film.
That film was really boring.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And yeah, so second position
is Evil Eye. If you want to talk about another really boring, very dull, just shit, bad acting, story shit, there's literally everything about the film. I'm alright. Everything about the film is straight garbage. Then watch Evil Eye, because that's pretty much this whole movie.
If you want to watch something, yeah.
Because I haven't even got the concept of Evil Eye right.
Yeah, they don't even explain it while in the film. So people who don't really know what Evil Eye is, it's very much a big deal in the Indian culture. People, like someone's evil eye going on to you and wishing you bad. So it's a big deal in the Indian culture. But people who aren't, who aren't part of the culture ain't really going to know, are they? What it's about. So the film doesn't explain that well. So it's kind of like American sort of Indian film. And the main actress who was playing the girl's mum was really good. I thought her acting was good in the film. And the dad's acting was good. But the main girl, her acting was so off.
Yeah.
And the guy who's meant to be the villain in the film, who, comes reborn, her ex-lover reborn to, basically, take his revenge in the next birth. He was an awful actor too.
And why couldn't you just call the film Rebirth or something?
Yeah. So it literally called it Evil Eye, and it was shot horribly. Like some parts, some places where they shot it were really not were actually, as in there's one scene when they're outside the house in India and it's actually a pretty house, but it's just been shot that awfully. You don't get to admire the house. And just the story wasn't that good. Very predictable. It's obvious what was happening. And it doesn't help that the guy makes it obvious he's a villain from the beginning.
Oh, he walks in and pretty much just I said it
gives
immediately.
away what he is.
Hi, I'm the villain basically.
Why would you make it obvious? And then the whole film, you just get so fed up with the acting throughout as well, and it's just really just shot horribly and edited just badly as well, and it just really looks like a low budget 90s film again. I know I've brought that up again, but it does feel very low budget. And they've got quite a few producers behind this film as well, who I'm pretty sure had money, so I don't know what the excuse was for the low budget of the film. Priyanka Chopra was one of the producers, and we all know she's loaded. After marrying Nick Jonas, of course,
I will say one thing only. Just don't watch this film.
Don't watch this film.
It's an Amazon Prime movie, which was low budget. They threw it together.
And it was for Halloween.
It was for Halloween.
Last minute for Halloween to enjoy,
And all I'll say, it was a David Bloom produced movie. And or Jason Bloom, whatever his name is. He literally produces everything. He produces everything. So, yeah, it was just not good. Don't waste your time. Do not waste your
time with the film.
No.
Don't bother.
No, it's garbage.
You get bored. It was just boring throughout, and it's shot so weird in parts. You don't know what's going on in parts. I'm like, what's even going on there? It's just shot awfully.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with it, but that's the reason this film is definitely in the second position. I was like, oh god, I was looking forward to watching it as well.
Yeah.
The concept of it was so interesting, but when I saw it, I was like, wow, you've ruined it. Thank you. But yeah, so here we are. We're literally in our first position now.
Number one position. So
365 days is number one position. The best film on the planet, clearly. You guys you are missing out if you don't think this is a good film. You've clearly got bad taste in films, clearly. But yeah, Luke watched the first half an hour, then I watched the rest of it, just to see what it was like.
I was done.
Luke had enough. He didn't want to watch anymore. I watched the rest of the film, and the whole film is so irritating. Oh my god, what was that? You lost, baby girl.
You lost, baby girl. That's the only part I know, because
so
I watched
corny.
Other reviewers, some funny ones, watch it, do a review on it.
Mate, yeah.
So I've been watching those, so that's how I know what happens, and it's awful. It is just bad.
Oh my God.
It's just a terrible, terrible movie with terrible dialogue, terrible writing, terrible acting, and it's just plain stupid.
Oh, the film was so stupid. Kidnaps her, and then she enjoys being kidnapped by him because they end up hooking up. and this and that, and it just doesn't. I don't know what's the reason for kidnapping, because he dreamt about it or something. I don't even remember. I watched it that long ago, and the film was that boring. I got fed up of it, and yeah, all it is just another 50 Shades, but just more
extreme.
Yeah, more extreme. The sex scenes are more graphic, and then the girl can't act, and neither can he. Sorry, I do think I do like him, but I think he's better as a singer. Because he could not act in this film. Maybe he's a better actor in other films, but in this film he did awful acting.
How about the one scene where he gets the flight attendant to
give him oral.
BJ oral whilst literally
in the middle of that, and anyone could just like literally get up and walk to the toilet at the back. Because he's on his private plane, and then he gets one of the flight attendants to do that to him, and then anyone can get up at any time. But it's just such an annoying scene, because it's just like, you're just depending this film on the scenes being graphic. Yep. You're only selling this film because the sexual scenes are very graphic. You know, it's not like a hidden sort of like her doing it. It's like in the film you see her actually on him. Clearly they hired a porn star to do that. Yeah. And there's one dumbass scene which I got so annoyed with. While he's got her kidnapped, the main character. While he's got her kidnapped, he has her tied up, and then he has sex with then he gets another woman to like give him oral right in front of her face in the room, or have sex with him, something, one or the other, but it was definitely something sexual towards him. Something. So basically one of them two towards him, and you're just like, oh, this is so annoying. This scene is just like pissing me right off. I was like, yeah, no, this is just literally made for like teen boys to just like, you know, get off on, like, you know, people who have not really had much action in their life.
Yeah.
It's just made for them, and it was just so desperate. The whole film was. It felt very desperate. People have hated this film, and I understand why. Let me see the rating of it.
It's gonna be bad. Like. Yep.
Yep.
Google reviews. Never trust a Google review because it's
3 out of 10.
Yep.
On Internet Movie Database, and just look at the like front cover of it. It is just desperate.
Yeah. Just don't watch this film. It's straight garbage. Makes no sense. It was just basically to get 50 Shades fans on the side. It was going, please 50 Shades fans like this movie, and no. Just no. Stop it, Netflix, with these garbage movies.
So garbage. I put money to it.
I know you. It made, you know, it was based for, like, I'm guessing it was more based for Italian like audience, because it was,
because that to being Italian, I think it was more based for them. But even they would have got annoyed at the bad story. And when she gets killed in the car crash at the end, the main girl, they don't even show it. They're so lazy.
Yeah.
They don't even show her getting crashed. Just show the car going to the bridge, and that's it. Get the news that she's gone. That's it. You're not even going to show the car crash and even make an effort to put something interesting into the film.
Nope.
No, you're just going to like, it was just a sex scene selling it. It was all low budget, you could tell as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the actor's good looking as he is, but in this film,
that was the problem though. That is where the problem lies. You've hired good looking people
who can't act.
Yeah.
Who are just there for the sex scenes only.
Yeah.
That's all they're there for. And then like one... And her annoying best friend who comes from Poland to help her pick a wedding dress because they decide to get married while her being kidnapped and this and that. She's like so okay with leaving her normal life just to go and live this kidnapped life with him, whatever it is. Just to go live with him. And her best friend turns up from Poland, and her best friend's so annoying. She's such an annoying fuck.
That doesn't surprise me.
She's just irritating. And they're trying to make her funny in the film, and I'm like, she isn't even funny. She just comes across like she's doing a lot of drugs. I'm just like,
God, it was just bad. Just don't. Just, no. Do not let them. This company.
It's like an old man made it. Who directed it? Barbara.
It was a guy and maybe a husband wife pairing, maybe.
Could be, or like partners.
Yeah.
Barbara and Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas. Screw you both. Fuck you.
Made such an awful film.
You're part of it.
Oh, this is the worst film of last year. 365 Days is the worst film of 2020. I cannot believe this film. I'm still like...
It's trash.
Every time I look at when I saw it on Netflix months after, still getting advertised, I was like, this film, can it get out of my face?
Yeah.
It's really awful.
Yeah.
You've just tried doing 50 Shades, but just more graphic.
Yeah.
And every most of the scenes just felt so trash as well.
Yeah.
Like they enjoyed just the trashiness of it. They enjoyed selling the trash. They were just craving to sell it in every single scene. Because I think there's one scene where her best friend from Poland says something about her underwear. Change it. Let me change my underwear. I'm like, get in the shower. Just get in the shower.
Yeah.
Let me change my underwear and we'll go out. I'm like, oh my god, just why don't you just get in the shower? That's just like gross. And it's just like every little thing is just there just to be trash.
Yeah.
A lot of the scenes really felt like that throughout the whole film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope they never make a sequel because I'll be really annoyed.
Oh, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Oh, but yeah, this is our countdown of the worst movies of 2020. Sorry, there's been some bad films this year.
Some garbage movies.
There's been some really bad films this year, but you know, at least they came on our list, which is good. At least it gave us a list.
Yeah.
But yeah, most movies have been pretty good this year, though.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed with what the pandemic that's going around the world. You know, I'm just glad at least there's still some good movies that came out.
Yeah.
Within last year, so still most of the films were good last year, though.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only a few bad ones,
Yeah.
which is every year anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe to this video, like, share and subscribe to both mine and Luke's channels as well.
I know.
And give Luke a big sub, and yeah, Luke makes great content too, and Luke enjoys TV shows, films and songs and music, everything, and does a lot of reactions, so don't forget to give Luke a big sub and follow us on all our social medias as well. Luke's on like every social media too, and so am I on almost every single one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all soon.
See you, everyone.